Hi! In this video, we'll look at bypassing XSS filters by enumerating permitted tags and attributes. Reflected cross-site scripting, or XSS, arises when an application receives data in an HTTP request, then includes that data in its response in an unsafe way. Applications use a range of processing and input validation methods to protect against common XSS payloads. You can use Burp Intruder to enumerate tags and attributes that are permitted by the application. This enables you to craft an XSS payload that will be executed by the application and is a useful next step if your attempts to test using proof-of-concept payloads were not successful. If you'd like to follow along, you can use the lab Reflected XSS into HTML context with most tags and attributes blocked from our Web Security Academy. Before we start, we'll need to identify a request-response pair with reflected input. In this case, we'll use the search functionality. Once you've identified the request with a reflected input that you want to evaluate, go to Proxy, HTTP History, right-click and choose Send to Intruder. Switch to the Intruder tab. To identify whether any tags are permitted, replace the value of the input with angle brackets. Click inside the angle brackets and click Add twice to add a payload position. Go to the Payloads tab and under Payload Settings choose Simple List and add a list of tags that you want to test. You can copy a list of tags from the XSS cheat sheet. Click Start Attack. When the attack is finished, look for any responses with a 200 status code. This indicates that the tag is permitted. If a tag is filtered out, it has a 400 status code instead. Next, we can identify whether any attributes are permitted. On the Intruder Positions tab, update the payload position. Add a tag that you enumerated in the previous step, then add payload markers to test different events. We'll use the body tag here. Go to the Intruder Payloads tab. Click Clear to remove the list of tags that you tested in the previous step. Now, under Payload Settings, we can add a list of events that we want to test. Again, we can copy the events from the XSS cheat sheet and paste it into the Intruder list. Click Start Attack. Intruder will send a request for each attribute on the list. Once the attack has finished, look for any responses with a 200 status code. Again, this indicates that an attribute is permitted. You can now use the permitted tags and attributes you've identified to construct an attack string and perform testing for reflected XSS manually.